Hi, I'm Becky A. Davis, also known as the Chief Bosspreneur, and I am the founder of the Bosspreneur Business Circle, which is an online and in-person platform, a networking platform that is dedicated to the advancement of women-owned businesses. And today I want to share with you 5 things that you need to do to connect with your community. When we connect with our community, it builds FTC. Familiarity, comfort, and trust. And one thing that I know from my sales background is that people buy from people they know, trust, and like. And so you want to be able to build trust with your community and with the people that you are interacting with, because those are the ones that will be moved from fans to followers. A fan is there for a minute. A follower is there to walk with you through as you continue on your journey. A follower will be with you on that journey. And so I want to share with you some things that in your communication, in the things that these are things that people want to know about you that would resonate and help them to build their relationship as well. So number one, people want to know who you are, what you've been through that speaks to them in their life. They want to be able to see themselves in you somewhere. So whether it's you sharing the things that you've been through and they can relate to those things that you've been through as it relates to anything that you're doing in business. What can you share with your community about some things that you've been through that will relate to them, that will help you start to connect with your community? The second thing, what have you overcome and how did you overcome it? People want to know that. That's important, because when we hear those stories, when we hear those messages, and it connects to us, then we tend to look at people differently. I know I have gone to conferences where they've had different celebrities or high-profile people that are speakers or on a panel. And I remember being at a conference and Venus Williams, the tennis player, she was one of the panelists that they were talking to on stage. And I've always liked Venus. I mean, I didn't know enough about her not to like her, but I've always liked her. But after that conversation and hearing her just talk about the things she's been through, the things she had to overcome as a tennis player with her playing with her sister, it just gave me a whole different outlook and on her, and it heightened my awareness about who she was, but it really connected me with her a lot more. And so people want to know some of the things that you've overcome and how you overcame them. And those were some of the things that she shared while she was on the stage. Number 3, what did you figure out along the way? As you are touching base with your community about the things that you are doing, what did you figure out along the way that you didn't know? I remember listening to, I can't even think of her name, but she was the founder of Carol's Daughter. And I remember her saying what she learned along the way was, as the CEO of the company and the founder of the company, she would always sit around the table in the boardroom. She never sat at the head of the table. And she said when she brought in started building her C-suite team, and she became president and hired a CEO, she said it wasn't until a CEO said, you need to sit at the head of the table because the team needs to see you as the leader. And she said, well, I always want people to know I'm in it with them, which is why I didn't sit at the head of the table. And he said, that's not what it's about. You are in it with them. You're a part of the team, but you are the head. So for her to figure out along the way, I need to step up and be the head of my company. To hear that resonated with so many people that were listening to her in the room that day. People want to know that stuff. That builds familiarity, comfort, and trust. Number 4, what did you succeed at, and what are some of the results you got from that? If you're able to share with your community some things that you like, oh my God, I've done amazing at this, and let me tell you how. People want to know that. We all want to know a quick way to get to where we're trying to go. And if we can touch base with someone who can share and cut our learning curve in half, we want to know that. So being able to share the things that you've been successful at and the results that you got from that, it's exciting. It's exciting to hear. And then you say, oh, wow, are you serious? And then it just helps you to really get to know that person more as well. And then the fifth thing that you can do to help connect with your community more is, what are you going to teach me that I can apply now that will make my life better? What are you going to share with me? How can you impact me in a way that will help make my life better now? When you can share those type of things, whether you're sharing them on social media, you're sharing them in an email, you're sharing them in a video that you post, when you share those things, people get to connect with you a little bit more. And when you connect with people more, and it builds that familiarity, comfort, and trust, people will do more business with you. Now it has to come from an authentic and a genuine place, because people can spot a fake a mile away. They can spot someone who's just acting through the process and trying to make you feel. We figure that out pretty quickly. But when you are genuinely just sharing and opening yourself up to a place where you're sharing your intellectual property and the way that you've got to the place that you are, it helps to build that familiarity, confidence, and trust, so that you can connect more with your community. So take those 5 areas, look at those 5 areas, and start to figure out, how are you going to now share your information in these 5 ways with your community, so that you can start building more trust with your community. I hope these 5 steps are going to help you connect with your community. Until next time, always remember, think big, go hard, and I promise it'll help you to live better.